What's going on, YouTube? Dave Poppers here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, it's Late Night Chat. We always upload this on Saturday, and if you're new around here, Late Night Chat is kind of like a quick little audio podcast that I do with Ashley. It's very similar to Titty Tuesday, just without all the abuse.
I don't know where you're getting all this abuse from and why you keep bringing it up. There's no abuse whatsoever.
Listen, here's the thing. All those times that we're listening to Titty Tuesday and you hear the mic get thumped, that's actually Ashley's face.
That's so stupid.
She sounds a lot like a Blue Yeti.
It's just me being clumsy.
No, she sounds a lot like a Blue Yeti microphone. It's true.
I was going to say a Blue Yeti or a Blue Yeti microphone.
I guess you could kind of be a Blue Yeti. You're bigger than most women.
Babe.
I meant taller.
Yeah,
No, that's really what I meant.
I'm so sure.
Okay. Because I run around and call your fat ass fat all day long.
Oh my god, there you go. 2 in 1 sentence.
So yeah, double negative's a positive, right?
No, it does not work that way.
Yeah, that was a compliment. If I call your fat ass fat, that means you're hot.
Definitely not. No,
Not sure.
Girls aren't going to take that way.
So we watched World War Z today, and I've actually read the books and stuff, but I wanted to know what your thoughts on World War Z were.
I thought it was really good. Just the only thing I can't get past is how they can't get the whole zombie thing in one straight line. Like, there's slow zombies, there's fast zombies. Like, what's it gonna be? Most of the movies and most of the shows I've seen are slow zombies. Stick to one thing.
But here's the thing, they've got nothing to go on. What are they doing? We're out there studying zombies? No, they're making this shit up as they go.
But like, why do you keep changing it up? I mean, honestly, it made for a really good movie because these zombies were freaking nuts.
Yeah, they were and one zombies for sure.
Oh my gosh.
They were and one zombies
Even the beginning of the movie, when that guy was killed and he was all on the floor, like twitching it. Well, not the floor, but the cement in the middle of the road, all twitching. Like he went.
The cement in the middle of the road, because pavement wasn't a sufficient word.
I always mix up pavement and cement. I swear.
Pavement's black, cement's gray.
Oh, okay.
They're also comprised of completely different shit.
Yeah,
like pavement is like gravel
tar.
and tar. And then cement is like rocks and clay and stuff with other shit.
Well, it's close enough. Everybody knew what I meant.
They probably didn't. You probably confused half of the population.
Considering how I said the middle of the road, they know what it is.
So I actually read World War Z a couple years ago when we were still living in California, and I read it alongside the Zombie Survival Guide, written by the same guy. And although the movie doesn't match the book at fucking all, I mean, sure, the concept's the same, but they don't kind of coincide one bit. I thought the movie, for a zombie movie, for a horror film, was really fucking good. It was really good. And they did a very good job of captivating emotions. And I feel like a lot of horror films, which you disagree with this completely, but I feel like a lot of horror films suck. And it's because they all have shitty acting, the story's usually garbage, the writing's horrible, and they're not even fucking scary.
They're just creepy. Like,
not even close.
How people thought of these storylines is really, really creepy. Like The Purge. Who was sitting there thinking, I'm going to make a movie where once a year everybody just kills everybody. It's legal. That's okay.
First off, you could easily say The Purge is a semi-ripoff from The Hunger Games because once a year they put these people up against each other to kill each other.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you can kill anybody.
I'm pretty sure, I don't remember the name of it, but I'm pretty sure there's a book that is exactly the same concept as The Purge.
Okay, well, that's not the point. Like,
so it's not an original thought. That's totally the point.
I don't know. I just really like them. I like watching creepy movies. Sometimes I still cover my eyes, though.
I know, that's so funny. You're a fucking adult, and we're watching The Human Centipede, and you're like covering your fucking eyes.
Well, most of the time I'm okay. I used to be a lot worse at it. Like, I used to sit through a whole scary movie with my eyes covered. But, I mean, I can kind of man up now. It's getting a little better.
I don't know what it is about horror films that draws you in.
I don't know. It's actually kind of messed up if you think about it, because horror films are usually pretty fucked up.
No, they're usually pretty stupid.
Saw is pretty messed up.
Okay, the original Saw 1 is fucking good. The rest of them suck it. You suck.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think they're all good.
One of my favorite movies, as far as the horror genre goes, is Seven.
Oh, okay, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that movie is fucked up.
Nasty.
Yeah, don't watch that if you're under life.
I really like 28 Days of Night, but that's like a vampire one, kinda.
Didn't you say that was 30 Days of Night?
Oh, yeah, 30 Days a Night.
There's 28 Days Later, which is a zombie one. And if I'm not mistaken, it kind of takes place in a mall. But those are and one zombies, too. And you said you hadn't seen it, so maybe you should watch that one.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. There's a badass zombie in that one. That dude is fucking
like
yoked.
Jack?
Yeah, he's like the
Like
leader.
The Rock?
Yeah. He's like the leader zombie is fucking Dwayne The
my
Rock
gosh.
Johnson and shit.
I actually kind of really want to read World War Z now that we watched it, because you
It's
said
in
it
the
was a good
closet.
book. Yeah,
It's
I know.
really good, but don't expect it to be anything like the movie. It's not.
Yeah.
It's absolutely different.
But it's still a good book.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Nonetheless,
Some
right?
of it's a little hard to get to because sometimes it's a little slow. Because as I said, it's just him like talking about the zombie apocalypse, I guess, from different people's views that he had interviewed. It's a good book nonetheless, a good read. I highly suggest reading the Zombie Survival Guide because the thing is, with that book, right, it's written like a no bullshit survival guide. Like it's absolutely 100% serious, which is what makes it so motherfucking funny.
Oh my
like
God.
because there's no way that's gonna ever be legitimate. Hopefully,
Yeah.
And it's
Probably
just
not.
funny that it's just funny that it carries this tone to it that it'd be no different than reading a How to Survive in the Jungle book.
Oh my
It's
God.
absolutely hilarious.
I've been in
but
a,
not
like-
but not How to Survive in the Jungle book because no bears, pythons, and tigers are gonna be talking to you.
No, definitely not. That's a good one. I've been in like find a good book kind of reading mode or mood lately. Like for the past week, I've been thinking about, I kind of want to pick up a book, but I probably know I'm not going to finish it.
Yeah, I got a book.
Always go through that.
I got a book coming in the mail soon that was suggested to me. And you might be interested in it. I wish I
Really?
could entirely remember what it was about, but it's definitely something that falls in line with other shit that I read, so that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
My best friend from Michigan suggested it.
Nice.
So, and then I have another book on my list two other books on my list that I want to read. One that a good buddy of mine in California suggested about this former Navy SEAL that was like, he would help Marines with PTSD and they would like go to a gun range and stuff like that. Yeah, but he was murdered.
me about
He was
that.
murdered not too long ago by one of the Marines that it was at the gun range with.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look at that and go, "Oh, that's dumb as fuck to have people with PTSD at a gun range," but it totally makes sense. If you've been in that environment, it totally makes sense that would be a good therapeutic session for you. But nonetheless, his book is about his time as a Navy SEAL, and it's been said to be incredibly good.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of
sounds like a
stuff
really good
that we can that I can relate to in it, apparently, from what I'm told. So that's cool, and I'm interested in that. And then
Yeah.
the second book that I'm really interested in is
Oh, hell no.
I'm newly aware of, and it's by Mac Lethal, oddly enough, who actually started a musical career from YouTube. He did the white boy raps fast thing where he was like
He's
flipping
making pancakes and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
It's called Texts from Bennett, and it's
Oh my
like
God.
it's like a novel that he wrote when his cousin Bennett and his aunt ended up moving in with him over the summer. But if you guys want some funny ass shit to laugh at, go look up Texts from Bennett on Twitter. No bullshit, and just read through some of the shit. Bennett's a real
were
dude.
dying
Like
last
that's the
night.
problem
Oh
is
my
Bennett's a
gosh.
real dude, and he texts Mac Lethal this shit all the time, and it's just absolutely hilarious. So I'm really excited to read that book as well.
And it's so heinous too. Didn't you say he's like he thinks he's a Crip or something, or he thinks he's black?
It's a
What the hell?
17-year-old white kid that's Mac Lethal's cousin, and he
Oh my
claims he's
God.
13% black and a member of the Crips.
So ridiculous. We were dying.
But he's
last
got a
night
black
looking
belt
at
and
that.
bitches, so it's
Oh
all
hell
good.
no! And he speaks the female language.
Yes, I'm really excited for that book.
Oh
I
my
think it's going to be a
God.
funny, easy read.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm reading it after you.
I'm a little scared that I'm going to cry a lot from laughing.
Don't make those pages all crinkly for me.
This isn't a Playboy. Calm down.
Ew!
Oh, singer.
babe. Oh my God, we gotta keep this somewhat PG.
No, we don't. This is YouTube, baby. Somewhat
Oh my
PG.
God.
Oh, this is Titty Tuesday, the series where we slap this bitch around. Yeah, somewhat PG. We
Oh my goodness.
we are in the TVMA category.
Oh, my jaw hurts.
Nope, sorry about that. Put you to work earlier, huh?
Oh, hell no.
All right, so we got a couple topics lined up today, and I thought they were
Yeah.
really, really good topics.
They are really good.
And I hate to say it, but I didn't think about a damn one of them. Other
Oh
than
my
I know.
God, me either.
Oh,
I mean,
you dropped the ball. Okay, so this is all gonna be winging it, which is good because you kind of
Yeah.
got like a big nose, it's a beak, birds have wings. It'll all coincide. It's really good. So,
rude.
if you had an identical twin, what shenanigans would you be a part of, if any?
Honestly, probably the most common one. I would totally act as the other one and go to like work or go to school or go on like a date with someone, like not a boyfriend, but like go on a date with someone and then just come back and tell them how it went. Just a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff. Act like the other one anytime you can.
Interesting.
Or like act like the other one to your parents. If they really can't
No,
tell
there's your parents are
if
gonna
you're that
know.
close, if you're that close, they might
Your
not
parents
know.
are gonna know.
That would be hilarious, though. Just troll your parents.
All the time.
Yeah. Why not? What about you?
Ooh, what shenanigans would I pull if I had a twin? In all honesty, it would 100% depend on the twin's personality. Because, you know, like, sometimes, like, twins, like, one of them's, like, super funny and outgoing, and the other one's just a fucking buzzkill dork loser.
That's horrible to say, but yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I get
you know what
that.
I'm saying? Like, if that would suck, right? If your
Yeah.
identical twin was the exact opposite of you. But, well, aside from appearance, if my twin was like me personality-wise, I would definitely try to prank people using my identical twin.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about pranks.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty much like the whole going on a date with someone and not realizing that it's not the person you thought you were going to go on a
Kind
date
of,
with.
but I'm thinking more like, I don't know, have the guy like get into a quote unquote fight and then have the other twin all done up in like fucked up makeup and like walking around, like just better pranks than just going on a date with somebody.
I agree. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I like that.
But if my identical twin's girlfriend was hotter than mine, I might act
You're ridiculous.
like the other twin. I never said I'd fuck her. I said I'd act.
Yeah, I'm
like
pretty
the other
sure
twin.
your twin would probably not like that.
No, because if his personality was like mine, we'd just be like, hey, tag me.
Oh
Good.
my god, that's horrible.
Ah, singer.
God, you're going to hell.
Probably, man. That ticket is already stamped. My seat's reserved. And they're just waiting on me to go.
Gosh.
So, when I was in class the other day, we were talking about bitches being hoochies, pretty much. And
What's new?
I know, right? And then we were talking about how I guess women's rights are semi in question right now because a lot of things are going on with limiting birth control and
What?
abortion like stuff. And, you know, just like limiting how available abortions can be and things like that. And
I did not know
basically,
about that.
we got on to how other countries, like the Netherlands, for example, although the Netherlands, those teenagers and everything have 100 times more sex than we do, the rate of teen pregnancy and STDs is the lowest in the world, and it's because their sex education is built right into their school curriculum. Unlike ours, where you have to get parental consent to be in like sex education classes and stuff like that. You didn't have to do that?
No, it
I
was
had to
mandatory.
do it. No, I had to do that. So,
Wow.
yeah, I know. That's why I kind of wanted to talk about this topic. I figured because we grew up in completely different areas in the country that we'd have different views completely.
Wow.
But yeah, so we kind of got on that. So I kind of wanted to know what your school's sex education was like.
I mean, it wasn't super crazy or anything, but it was a mandatory class, and I think you usually took it your sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just for like one semester.
late.
Yeah, I don't think it was the whole year. No, it wasn't. It might have been your freshman year because you would take, I think you took computer class or computer lab, and then you took sex ed the last part of your semester. Well, it wasn't anything super intricate, but I mean, I guess it was good. We talked about the normal things like STDs and how to keep from getting pregnant and what to do and where to go if you are pregnant and like how to talk to your parents and everything. But
Did they segregate it, boys and girls?
no.
What?
It was an integrated classroom, but it
Wow.
was we didn't have to get our parents' consent or anything. It was mandatory, which I think is good. Like
No, me too.
yeah.
It should be. I think it should be mandatory as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's also the responsibility of the parent to handle that on top of a mandatory
Oh
education.
yeah.
With me, man, I had the complete opposite. My sex education was 2 years, and it was in
What?
5th and 6th grade.
Whoa, that's young.
And we had to get parental consent to take the little course, and it was like for a week out of the year we would do sex education, and the girls would go to another classroom And the boys from that classroom would come to our classroom, and the girls had a female teacher and the boys had a male teacher, and we would talk about the usual STDs, you know, puberty, changes in your body, STIs, what are all the general sex ed stuff. We were sitting there one day though, and this is why it was a little heinous that we were having sex ed at the time, because one of the kids had asked the dumbest question. First off, it's so funny because the teacher's like, so who's sexually active? And every fucking hand in the classroom went up, which is a clear fucking lie.
Lying.
Yeah, we're a room full of fucking boys. Of course we're lying.
God.
And then some dude was like, well, so what happens if you stick a rusty screwdriver in a girl's? And the teacher like stopped him right there, and he's like, how about I stick a rusty screwdriver up your ass and we'll see how it goes.
Your teacher said that?
Yeah, he was one of those cool ass teachers though that all the parents respected, and he kind of just kept it really real. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's so
young, that's
though.
I know, right?
I don't know how I feel about it that young.
But no, look, here's the thing. I think being that young or having it that young nowadays is more important than it was when I was in elementary school.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You know, I mean, women are hitting puberty younger, and therefore they're able to.
Babies are having sex. Little kids.
Yeah,
oh
I mean, like girls are hitting puberty younger, and therefore they're able to get pregnant. So like, education needs to start at a younger age, I think. But I think it should be built into school. I think it's really weird that yours was built in because California is so fucking liberal with everything, and you know, mine wasn't built in. We had to get parental consent.
I've always thought it. Well, I obviously didn't think you did it that young.
Oh yeah,
but
way young.
I mean, the youngest I would think is probably 7th or 8th grade. 5th or 6th, seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, that's when kids are doing it now. But that's not the point.
And here's the fucked up thing, right? Like, we never had a lick of sex ed after that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I just find it really weird that you didn't even touch up on it in high school, because that's when the prime time, like. Everybody's
at most it would be like your usual shit in like when you covered anatomy, you know, but it wasn't full on sex ed. But
God,
no,
that's so weird.
A week in 5th grade, a week in 6th grade, you're good to go hard charge into the world. That shit was like Dare. Nobody gave a fuck.
But I thought it was so cool doing Dare.
Every kid thinks it's cool doing Dare. Now I look at Dare and I'm like. I look at Darren and I'm like, that's a bullshit scare tactic, man. If you actually educated kids, you'd be in a far better position versus trying to scare kids into acting a single way.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Agreed.
I'm glad that, man, I'm glad we had that topic, because I figured yours would definitely have parental consent, but
no.
We are on two different ends of that spectrum.
I wouldn't be surprised if they started doing it younger, and they might as well. Doesn't really, I wouldn't say cover your ass, but it'd be smarter to.
Yeah, I think there should definitely be more of it. 1 year is probably not enough. And it should be less scare tactic-ish and more educational.
Yeah, like, this is what's going to happen, but if it does happen, this is what you need to do.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, so I like comedy.
Oh, God.
We both know this.
Yes.
So if you were a comedian, what would your opening line be?
I honestly can't think of anything for this because I'm really not that funny. I was trying to think about it for the longest time while I was cooking dinner, and it's just blank all throughout. I can't.
You just walk out on stage and shake your titties and then start your act.
Show is here.
Everybody would get up and leave at that point.
No, they wouldn't.
God.
Everybody would die and start clapping for me.
Probably not.
Probably. You have no faith.
That's true.
That's horrible. Oh my God. Okay, what would yours be, Mr. Comedian?
What's going on, YouTube? I'm Aaron. Welcome back to my channel.
People would be like, what?
What's he talking about? I do not know.
What's YouTube?
Great. All of our retarded subscribers just left. Good job.
About that.
Oh, you're still here. Great. Excellent.
Babe.
An opening line if I was a comedian. I really like "What's up, fuckers," but that's taken.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Hey, yo, bitch.
I don't know how that one will go.
No. Fuck. See, as I said, I didn't really think these through. I was just gonna leave it at my channel intro, but
now you actually
I'm actually kind of thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So I've never done this before, and I'm kind of nervous.
That'd be a good one.
See, there you go.
Nah, just kidding.
Not.
I was not nervous.
Oh shit. How do you go from I love horror films to I want a green Speedo?
Ew, it's technically not a Speedo. It's a mankini.
Oh, sorry that I'm not fucking well-versed in nut-hugging apparel.
Yeah, seeing as you never wear underwear.
You goddamn right I don't wear underwear.
Oh my god.
It's so hot here. Oh man, I couldn't imagine. The only time I wear underwear is if I'm wearing jeans or something with a zipper, but
Oh my god.
fuck, man. Go Commando. It's so much nicer.
Yeah, I guess. I just don't like doing it in public. And I was talking to one
Why?
of my
Because
coworkers.
bitches see my dick?
No, not even. I'm talking about.
Oh,
for
thanks,
growth.
asshole.
Well, I see it all the time, no matter what. But like, I was talking to my coworkers, and I was like, I don't know, like it just feels really weird.
Really?
Yeah, in public, like I know people don't know I'm Commando, but it's
I
just
have
the
no
thought
idea.
for myself.
Nah, I got used to doing that when I was on deployments and shit like that. Like, it was just so fucking hot. Just way easier to not wear any underwear.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Ugh.
See, he doesn't wear underwear
That's
either. The dog's
disgusting.
over there. We're talking about not wearing underwear. The dog's laying next to us licking his
I
dick.
seriously just want to talk about him. That's disgusting.
He'll bring it back.
Fuck. The one that I actually really did think about is your one moment I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Oh, you want to go to that one then?
Yeah, because I
Okay.
can't really think of any other ones. Okay, so I mean, not the most prestigious job, but it was a job. I was working at KFC, and like a ritual every Sunday. Every Sunday.
And there goes our last retarded subscriber that was too retarded to unsubscribe the first time.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
Get on with it, bitch.
So every Sunday after church, this family would come in, and oh,
Don't lie. You're racist. This was a black family.
Okay, yeah, it was a black family that came in, and they seriously.
And not
had,
that it
like,
matters.
No, it doesn't.
But
I mean, it's just it makes. Me
I just when you would come when I would pick you up, the story. God, that big black family came in again.
Well, seriously, okay. Like, first of all, it was two parents, and I honestly think
For the
there was
record,
about four
like neither
kids.
of us are racist, so have
Oh
some
God,
thick
no,
skin.
not at all. Yeah.
Go on.
There was like 4 or 5 kids, and there was both parents, and yeah, they dressed really respectfully and nice and everything. The kids acted like the KFC bars that were like where the lines set where there's a line were monkey bear bars, and like this was McDonald's. Oh my God, it was so annoying. I was just waiting
wait
for
a
them to
minute.
slam their head on the ground.
So you said they acted like this was McDonald's, as if KFC has some kind of prestige over McDonald's.
Well, no, McDonald's has
And
the
look,
whole play place.
You're leaving out the fact that this happened every Sunday.
No, I said it happened like a ritual every
well,
Sunday.
there you go. That's why they were just nice. They were coming from or to church.
Well, yeah, that's true. But like, oh God, it was so annoying. So these kids, first of all, acted like everything was just theirs to climb on. They stood on the chairs, they stood on everything, and it was the most annoying thing in the world. Getting to the real point, they would order like this big ass meal, like 3 or 4 sides and like a bucket of chicken. And they wanted this extensively retarded order. Like, oh, we only want this many wings and this many thighs and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we got it down to a science. We would each, like, there would be like 3 or 4 people that checked their order before it went out, so there would be no complaints. And even though we checked it 3 or 4 times, this bitch would come back like 30 minutes after they already started eating with like 2 pieces of chicken in the bucket. And mind you, there was like 10 before, at least 10 or 12. Actually, probably 16, I want to say. And she would come back with about 2 or 3 pieces. Well, this wasn't in here and we asked for this. And I'm like, you whore. Like, seriously, I don't get paid enough for this. I get paid minimum wage for this job. And all you do every week is bitch about how something is wrong when something is never wrong, but we always have to say yes.
They were greedy and they wanted free food. That's what it boils down to.
They didn't need any food. They needed a gym. Fuck.
I think like there should be a policy in places like that to where if you
God.
eat more than 10% of your meal, then you no longer can return it. Like
exactly.
yeah,
Your
'cause
whole
to
complaining
eat a
is
whole
invalid.
fucking bucket of chicken and then bitch that you didn't have the right stuff. Well,
Yeah.
you can't prove that you didn't because you just devoured it all.
Yep. Why did you wait so long? If it was really that big of a deal, you would have looked through all the
Yeah.
shit. Because apparently this happens every week. You would have looked through it before you even sat down to eat it and be like, oh, okay, this isn't what we wanted. No.
And on top of that, though, if it happened every week, just go somewhere else.
Oh my God, I know, right? We always said that. Like, if this keeps happening and you're so unhappy with shit, go somewhere else. We're not going to be sad about it. We're actually probably going to throw a party because we're not going to see you anymore.
You probably wouldn't have thrown a party.
We probably would have thrown a party.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm pretty sure we would have.
No, I don't think so.
You're welcome. What is yours?
Okay, so I spent some time in the United States Marine Corps, and I became the hardened warrior. Anyway, so when I was in the Marine Corps, we used to have to do a lot of training because, well, fuck, my job was infantry, so if we weren't deployed fighting a war, we practiced fighting a war. That's the only way you're good at fighting a war, oddly enough. So we would go out to the middle of the fucking desert and conduct training operations, and we were out there one day. And we were supposed to be out there for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was a long fucking training operation, so we already weren't happy about it. And we're out there for a little bit. And it was around this time of year, maybe a little later. And it was raining a lot. And we got out there and rain's whatever. And like nobody's bitching about rain. Like we kind of signed up for that type of shit. But we get out there and it's raining and raining and raining. And it's just picking up harder and harder and harder. It was so wet from all the rain that we saw a fucking desert tortoise, which never comes out. Like, they're endangered.
It only comes out when it rains?
Well, yeah, and there's not that many of them left. They're endangered, and we saw one. Like, that lets you... Like, seriously, this desert tortoise, if you scare it, it pisses itself and dies because it dehydrates. I'm not even shitting you.
It's absolutely horrible.
But we saw one of these things, and it was raining so hard, and it was so windy, and it was so cold, and, like... 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 people were getting hypothermia. Like, no bullshit. We had people sitting in fighting holes, which are exactly what they sound like, holes in the ground that come up to about your chest. And they're full of water up to their waists. And it was seriously, had to be wind chill of like 5 or 6 degrees. Oh. And it was one of those things where I was in charge of a couple guys, and one of them failed to bring his fucking rain gear. So I, being a good leader, gave him my rain gear, right? Like, take care of your Marines before you take care of yourself type shit. So I'm walking around just wearing camis in this cold ass weather, soaked to death, to the point where I'm shivering, like absolutely shuddering, to where I can't like move my hands properly to do the things that I need to do. And
that's horrible.
Yeah, me and my squad leader, we were walking around just checking on everybody, and really we were walking around.
We were still alive?
Yeah, kind of, and we were doing it so we stayed alive because he also gave his rain gear to another Marine. Oh so my God. I know. And so we were walking around to try to stay warm is what it boiled down to. Yeah. And we finally got... Or before that, we're going to rewind. So we're doing all this. It's raining hard enough. People legit were dropping with hypothermia. After every time we dropped somebody with hypothermia, we would call back to the company office, which was back on like the main side of base. And we'd call our company commander. We're like, hey, can we come back? We're having hypothermia issues. And they're like, no, stay out there. These assholes were sitting in a fucking office. We seriously, there was no training value whatsoever. We're just sitting there freezing. Like, we weren't attacking each other because what was supposed to happen is different companies were going to set up all over the desert, and we were going to raid each other at night and play war games. It was going to be a shit ton of fun. Like, I had a whole raiding patrol scheduled for the night, and I was really looking forward to it. But once all that shit started coming down, there was no fun to be had.
Was there anybody else even out there besides you guys?
The rest of our unit.
But like no other... oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're sitting there, and after we dropped like 10 or 15 guys, you know, we kept calling back, and they're like, no. So finally it came time to go to bed. So I was like, fuck, I get to rack out for a little bit. Hopefully I can crawl in my sleeping bag and get warm. That was my biggest concern. So I got butt ass naked, no bullshit, because in the sleeping bags that we had, if you sleep with no clothes, you're warmer because of the way they reflect your body heat and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And my sleeping bag was soaked. All of our shit was soaked. We didn't have a dry piece of gear, but I got in my sleeping bag and it was warm enough that I finally stopped shivering. And the instant I stopped shivering, they came over and they were like, all right, pack up your shit. We're going back to the main side of the base. And we're done for tonight. We'll come back out tomorrow morning. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So I had to put on these cold ass camis after just finally stopping the shivers. After I legitimately was shivering for over 12 hours straight. Not even bullshitting. And they didn't pay me enough for that shit.
Yeah.
It would have been
my
one thing
God.
if there was like some training value to be had, right? Because we all understood like we needed to do certain things, and we might be put in situations where it's uncomfortable, like spending the winter in the desert, or being in a little bit of rain, or spending the summer in the desert, things like that. We all understood it. We all got it. It's part of the job. Whatever, we signed up for it. But
Yeah, but the whole hypothermia
Exactly.
thing, people are going to be sick for a while, and you're not going to be able to train them until they're better.
Ridiculous hypothermia.
You're wasting your time.
And it was to the point where our commandos and stuff were like, the ones that were out there with us were like, just do all you can to stay warm. We're not conducting any raids or any patrols tonight. Just try to stay warm.
Yeah.
So at that point, we had already written off any kind of training value, and it was just pointless for us to be out there.
That's horrible. Oh, I'd be so pissed.
And making, I don't know, what was it, like 17 grand a year? Totally not worth it.
Yeah, no. I don't get paid enough to make her
I know.
to get their hypothermia.
I was making less than I do now at the time. I know.
That is so sad.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh,
Definitely.
that's horrible.
That's why I always joke. Like, I miss the shit out of the Marine Corps, and a lot of times I sit down and I think about it, and I wish I would have re-enlisted. But I'm making more per month
Not doing
now than
anything?
I was then. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
Yep. So, some of us, this ties in with the story somewhat. Some of us have an irrational hatred for inanimate objects. And I developed mine while I was in the Marine Corps, oddly enough. And I was wondering if you had such hatred for an object that has no meaning or life to it.
I really think, I have a feeling I do. I just can't super think of it. So you go first, and while you're doing your thing, I'll think of something.
Ooh, okay, so mine is 100,000,000,000% Joshua trees. I absolutely hate Joshua trees. I was stationed in 29 Palms, California, and when you're driving into 29 Palms coming from nice-ass San Diego, which is where I went to school, so I went to came from nice-ass San Diego into 29 Palms, you start going through a little place called Yucca Valley, and you're looking around, and you're like, the fuck is this shit? Because there's one Walmart, there's a bunch of places to get bail bonds.
Oh my god.
I'm not even shitting you. Super advertised. There's weird little trinket shops. There's this dig your own
they're
cactus for $5 thing. I shit you not. And then like you pass the little shopping center area and there's nothing. It's like a shopping center and a car dealership for like a 1.5 mile long stretch, and then
Oh
it's
my God.
nothing, absolutely nothing. And we're coming in, and I'm like, fuck, I hate my life. Like, I'm not gonna be able to survive here. And then you start seeing these things.
You can't even call them trees.
No, I don't know, man. They're like Cousin It. Got thrown against the wall really hard, I
Either
guess.
that or Cousin It got hit with a whole bunch of porcupine needles.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a palm tree shit a retarded baby after an abortion. And that's a Joshua tree.
Oh my god.
And I started looking at it, I'm like, ew. Like, what the fuck is that? And we're driving, and there's just more Joshua trees and more Joshua trees. Next thing you know, we go through this place called Joshua Tree National Park. And I'm like, oh my God, they should just change that sign to hell. Because the only place these things can survive is hell. And the only trees in or around 29 Palms are Joshua trees. And I just grew this absolute disgusted hatred for them. Because they're so fucking ugly. They're so worthless. I would rather slam my face into a rose bush full of thorns than look
my
at Joshua
God.
trees. And then what happens? We move to here.
And
Fucking
there's even
Joshua
more of
trees.
them.
There's a motherfucking Joshua tree down the road from us. And one of these days, that shit is going to be on the news, on fire. And you're going to know who did it.
But it's gonna come back just as resilient as before.
I know, yeah, no, that's the fucked up thing. In Yucca Valley, we used to ride our bikes, and by bikes, I mean motorcycles, like street bikes. We used to ride our bikes out to this area just a little past Yucca Valley as you're leaving that area, and there was like a nice canyon to ride up. And it, no bullshit, caught on fire one year to the point where we couldn't leave the base because there was a wildfire. And we were locked down on the base for like a week because of the fire. After the fact, we would go ride our bikes up in this canyon, and the only thing alive was fucking Joshua trees. Everything else was charred and burned. Goddamn Joshua trees, just fine.
I know how much you hate him, so sometimes I make it a point to point him out when we're doing.
I know, because you're a cunt. That's why. Yeah. That's rude.
Oh my goodness, it's awesome.
I'm gonna back up to your KFC story quickly.
Oh, okay.
Because along the lines of hating inanimate objects, we kind of said, is there a phrase that you hate too?
Okay.
And you said blah blah blah, and I just wanted to take this mic and hit you in the chest with it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Why does that bug
And then
you
there's
so
like
much?
blah 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 or whatever. God, I don't know. It's like you want to say something, but you got nothing to say. And one of the things that bugs the fuck out of me with people is when they talk but say nothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. We were just talking about someone doing that in your
Oh my
class.
God. He's coming right for us. Dude sounds just like that guy. I'm gonna have to show you that shit after
you
this.
Do.
Anyway,
That'd
so
be
what's your
awesome.
inanimate object?
My inanimate object. God, that's a really good one. I can't super think of anything, but I really, really want to because it's gonna be funny. There's got to be something, man. I know there is.
It's teeth.
Teeth. Oh.
Yep.
But is that an inanimate object because that's in your mouth?
Bitch,
and
it's
living?
inanimate enough.
I guess.
Your teeth don't have emotions of their own. Your teeth don't make their own decisions. Your teeth don't do their own things. Inanimate means not animated. You got to look at the root word, which is animate. They don't move around. It's not life.
Yeah.
They're a part of your body, sure, but...
I guess I get that. Well, yeah, I mean, if you have nasty teeth, it really, really, really bugs me. Like, you can be the most gorgeous person in the world, but if your teeth are jacked up, that just brings you down to the negative scale. Ugh.
Is that why Tom Cruise is no longer on your list?
Oh my gosh, I never noticed that before, and I don't know how. It's so obvious.
It's so obvious.
It's so disgusting.
Nobody knows it though until you think it's pointed out. Yeah.
Oh God.
All right, so let's move on to our last topic so that we can close this out and go have absolutely ballistic monkey sex in the pool.
Babe.
What? You didn't want me to tell all my plans for monkey sex in the pool?
No, it's supposed to be the hot tub.
Man, it's way too hot for the hot tub, son.
Anyways,
God,
moving on.
please keep laughing.
Awkward.
You're laughing like you're just completely lost in this time continuum here.
Oh my God.
Okay, how would you describe being drunk to someone?
You're gonna act a fool.
That's all you're gonna say?
Well, I don't know. I'd say you get really, really hot. I get really, really hot when I drink.
Me too.
My makeup gets messed up.
You
so
get
you're not
hotter
gonna look
as I
pretty.
drink, oddly enough.
Babe.
I didn't say you were hot now. I just said you get hotter when I drink.
Interesting.
Every bitch gets hotter when I drink.
Anyways, you really don't have any control over your thoughts, I'd say. You just kind of pretty much say whatever you want. And if you have any tendencies, like you yell something really loud or you say something a lot, you're going to say it a lot more when you're drunk. Because I feel like I woo a lot more when
You're
I'm
a fucking woo girl. Oh, yeah.
when I'm sober.
But you never say woo when you're sober.
Yeah, sometimes.
No.
A rare occasion. Oh my God, what were we were just doing something last week and I did it. Maybe we were playing Rayman and we beat something.
We probably were playing
yeah,
Rayman, yeah.
See? I mean, it happens a little bit, but it's like extreme mode.
Yeah, it does. Oh my God, it's dark out. Woo! Look, I have 10 toes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, ridiculous.
But yeah, other than that, you're gonna slur a lot. You're not gonna be able to understand anything. You're gonna probably
I don't
fall
slur
a lot.
when I'm drunk.
Well, if you get super hammered,
I'm pretty coherent the whole time I'm drunk.
I guess. I don't know. How would you describe being drunk to someone?
Spin around in circles 50 times and then dunk your head in a bowl of water and punch yourself in the stomach. That's how it's going to feel when you're drunk.
That's absolutely horrible. I never feel that way.
What's how it's going to feel tomorrow?
Oh, well, I mean tomorrow, but in the
okay,
present time.
but being absolutely dizzy, like when you're really fucking hammered, dizziness is a common
yeah.
thing. That's being drunk. Stick your head in water because that's going to shock your senses, and then while you're dizzy, and you're going to feel a little drunk. That's going to affect your critical thinking skills.
Yeah, I guess I never
and
thought
then
about that.
you need your abs to be all sore for the next day because you're going to feel like shit.
Yeah. That's got to be the worst.
Yeah, I used to have a fail-safe method to avoid hangovers, and it was just as simple as drink 2 bottles of water before you go to bed and you'll be fine. And that worked for me up until 2 years ago.
God, I'm surprised.
Maybe even a year
that still
ago.
works.
And now, I don't know, it's just not drinking has caught up to me because I don't drink near as much as I once did.
Oh, yeah.
And probably
It's a good thing.
age and health and all that other shit has caught up to me because as much as I like to think I'm in good health, I'm not exactly in the greatest of health, but it is what it is.
You're good. You're still walking, still
Yeah,
breathing.
I get around.
You're still doing your daily thing.
That's
rubbing
true.
one out every day.
One?
Oh my god. Okay, anyways. We don't need to elaborate into this. We already told them about our
100?
sex life. Ew.
I'm pretty sure everybody gets this is an act by now, so I doubt they take any sex life reference seriously.
I don't even know.
Anyway, so it's been about 40 minutes, and it's been a whole lot of fun. If
Yeah, I
you're
agree.
still here and you still like this, guess what? We're kind of a little upset because nobody commented about the Toys for Tots thing, which lets us know that nobody
Really?
nobody got to this point in the last video. So if you are unsure of what the hell Toys for Tots thing that we're talking about is we're gonna spend $200 this Christmas to contribute to Toys for Tots, and we wanted to know what some of your suggestions for toys were.
Girls and boys.
Yeah, girls
Yeah.
and boys. We're trying to shoot for around 10 toys, so a $20 limit on each of the toys. However, you could suggest toys that are cheaper than $20 if you think they're cool. So leave that shit in the comments below to help us start putting together our Toys for Tots Christmas list.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And those of you that are new here, if you're still here, thank you. That means a lot to me, and I really appreciate you coming over, checking out the content, and deciding to stay. And I'm sure you do as well.
Oh yeah, yo también.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week on Tuesday.